I'm in fine arts.
I am learning 3D design. I am in applied arts.
I'm learning identity design. I'm in applied arts.
I'm learning printmaking. I'm in fine arts.
I am learning typography. I am in applied arts.
I am learning portrait. I am in fine arts.
I'm learning UI UX. I'm in applied arts.
I'm learning photography. I am in applied arts.
A very good morning to everyone present here today. It's a very happy day today for us. Thank you for joining us today on this webinar on career opportunities in applied arts and fine arts. To begin with, I would like to address that the recent pandemic has affected lives all over the world. And we support and are thankful to all the efforts made by the government and the authorities and all the warriors at the forefront who've been helping us. So we show our solidarity to them and we support those who are vulnerable and affected. I would like to take this opportunity to also thank Professor Dr. Mangesh Karat sir, Honorable Executive President and Acting Vice Chancellor at MIT EDT University to have given us this opportunity. He is a towering personality with exceptional leadership skills and we all admire him a lot. Now, art as a whole in any of the fields is a visual currency that defines a contemporary world today. And therefore, today we present to you the opportunity to learn about career prospects, get advice from our expert faculty in the field of creative visual communication. Let's explore your opportunities together with Professor Dr. Mirin Dobre, Dean and Faculty of Arts, Fine Arts and Performing Arts, and who has been guiding us as Principal at MIT School of Fine Arts and Applied Arts. He's a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, and we all welcome you here today. We'd like to hand over you the opportunity, and we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, Avni, for nice introduction, and good morning, all participants and my dear aspiring students to this creative field. In our day-to-day life, we come across many creative fields we appreciate and we experience. These creative fields could be cooking, writing, singing, dancing, drawing, painting. All these art forms are mentioned in our Vedas, and we consider total 64 art forms in total. Today, I'm introducing the 65th art, that is art of advertising. Friends, we all are living in the creative world where we got connected with each other by different media of communication like TV, internet, phones. These are not only media for communication, but widely used for advertising and information. The advertising messages are put very creatively through these medias, using photographic images, illustrations, typography, colors, textures, and very special visual effects. It is how the messages are made creative. Today, we will see career prospects in creative fields like applied arts, fine arts, painting, and sculpture. Applied arts is explained as application of art into communication, entertainment, and decoration. Painting is full of visual expression, and it is made three-dimensional in sculpture. So we will see all these courses and all these opportunities in these creative fields through PowerPoint presentation. We will explain the opportunities and future prospects in these fields. So we will begin with the PowerPoint presentation. PPT, please. So in MIT School of Fine Arts and Applied Arts, we have total 3 major fields: applied arts, painting, sculpture. So we offer 4 years undergraduate course in all the fields and 2 years post-graduate course in all the fields. So there are unique opportunities in MIT School of Fine Arts and Applied Art with great industry exposure, with regular workshop, visit to industry, and different allied field to visual communication. We also give opportunity to the students to do their industry projects and internship in creative fields. We also give individual design projects to study various aspects of creative field, creative industry, and learn more in UI, UX, printmaking, advanced digital software, and which are very essential of visual communication to make it more effective. Next. These are few photographs of printmaking workshop. We generally offer a creative workshop by experts. So experts from these fields, they come and then they deliver lecture, workshops. They conduct workshop and special lectures and conduct seminars on various topics. Like last year, we had Mr. Blau from Germany, who delivered his lecture and demonstrated his illustration styles to our students. Our own contemporary artist, Mr. Harshvardhan Kadam, he also came and demonstrated his working style, his illustration styles to our students. People from creative field having experience of 30 years and more, they come and interact with our students. Like we last year, Anil Usgare, who is creative director from advertising industry, he came and interacted with our students. Similarly, Mr. Achyut Palav, who is a great calligrapher at national and international level, he interacted with the students and demonstrated the calligraphic work and experiences. He shared his experience with our students. So I would like to mention here that applied art and fine art is definitely a creative field, but we have very particular subject we teach in applied arts and fine arts, painting and sculpture. So briefly, I would like to go through this list of this subjects we deal in applied arts, BFA and MFA level. Of course, there are a few specialization subjects in each field in each semester. But these are the basic courses we deal in: drawing and illustration, color and composition, calligraphy, corporate brand identity, typography and type design, editorial and publication design, photography, print and packaging, infographics, web design and user interface, environmental and exhibition graphics, signage and pictograms. So these are major courses and subjects which one has to understand and learn in applied arts at BFA level and master's level in MFA. Next. Next. So for painting as well as applied arts, drawing is a backbone, and one has to be very creative to show his expressions and visual forms through drawing. So basic skill required for these courses is drawing. And of course, if even if somebody is not very good at drawing but having a great concepts and visual ideas in his mind, we will definitely train him with a great visual expressions in terms of drawing. So we will see few more courses we deal in drawing and painting. So it is very important for all of us to learn from history. So, and the Indian history and Western history is having a great learning that we can learn from Indian history uh, and Western art history. So this is the main subject we cover in first year BFA as well as MFA, to learn history from Indian art and history from Western art. Of course, color and composition is a very important and inseparable subject of this particular art. So color and composition is very important. Study from life. Of course, whatever we create, whatever we design is for human being. It is very creative. It is very interesting to know more about human body and human life. So entire human body study is done in a study from life. Drawing from nature. Of course, all of us are aware that nature is a great teacher. We learn each and everything from nature. So most of the artists, most of the designers, they get inspiration from nature. So it is very important for all of us to study nature. So it is very well included in our curriculum, how to study different forms, different texture, different patterns and colors which are available in nature. So study from nature is very, very important subject as far as the fine art is concerned. And of course, printmaking, wherein we also teach woodcut, etching, engraving, and lithography. I know this is a very old technique of printing. Now the printing is more evolved, but these are the very basic form of printmaking. So we also teach printmaking, which is again a very creative part, because that requires lots of patience and technique. So it is a very, very interesting subject, printmaking. And of course, aesthetics. The creative art and design is full of aesthetics. Without aesthetics, I don't think anybody will appreciate art. So every art form is full of aesthetics. So this is very important for a learner, a student, to learn what is the meaning of aesthetic, how it has to be implemented, and how it will be used. I mean, how aesthetically they should create their art form so that all others will appreciate it. And of course, human anatomy is very, very important, because at MFA level, we have two special subjects. One is creative painting and other is portrait painting. So we need to understand and we need to go in detailed study of human anatomy. So it is very important subject. Pictorial composition is something that gives birth to creative painting, and it is more of a simplified form. The way we use simplification of pictures into pictorial form, and a composition is done using various techniques of painting, various techniques of drawing, and the texture is also used in pictorial composition. Of course, creative painting, portrait painting, these are a very special subjects which students can opt as their specialization subject in their masters. And conservation of art and restoration of art form is a unique feature of our syllabus, that we teach how to conserve our cultural heritage, or how to restore our art forms which are almost in the at the verge of dying. So we restore, and we also teach students the importance of art forms and paintings that need its conservation. So this is our unique feature, because in most of the fine art colleges, they teach how to create painting, but we teach how to conserve painting, how to restore it, and how to keep those painting for the next generation. So this is a very, very unique feature that we are offering to our UG students, undergraduate students, and PG students, master students as a part of syllabus. And of course, outdoor study is very important because that helps a student to observe the things, minutely observe the things, keep aesthetic and beauty from the nature, from their surrounding, and observe the things for their own experience and experiment with their uh, expressions through their painting. And of course, this is one more unique feature that we are offering. Generally, applied art students, they deal with digital arts, but here at the same time, for painting students and sculpture students, we offer digital arts because nowadays everything is easy and everything is created using digital platforms. So we offer this digital platform or digital arts to these students who are creating their visual expressions not only on canvas, but they also can use a wide screen or a light screen on digital platform, and they can create very interesting digital paintings by using digital tools. So this is one more unique feature that we offer in our syllabus. Next. Of course, we equally have a good strength at BFA and MFA sculpture department, and sculpture is something that we experience in all surroundings because we have all things in our surroundings that are having 3 dimensions to it, right? So we experience the real-time experience with 3 dimensions. And students, it's very important for all of us to know the history because in our temples, in our historical monuments, we see that most of the historical monuments and temples are full of sculptures, and that those sculptures, they actually speaks a story of our culture and our heritage. So this is important for all of us to understand and know about Indian and Western sculptures and history related to sculptures. So it is an inseparable part of this course. So again, without drawing, you can't pursue any kind of expressions. So drawing is very important for any visual artist, whether he is doing his sculpture or fine arts or painting or for applied arts. So it is important for somebody who's pursuing this creative fields to have a good skill of drawing. And of course, study from antique, because we know in India as well as in European countries, there are great sculptors. They have created their sculptures, and we need to study. So some replicas are there, some antique pieces are there. So from that antique pieces, we study the antique and study how those artists, they have worked for a particular style with a particular character, and that is how it is important for us to study antique. And of course, they have to experiment with the clay. Clay is a very interesting material to explore with. So we can have various expressions and forms using clay. So study of clay is very important for sculpture student. And sculptural composition, wherein students can use various material and they do composition. Aesthetic, again, I said that aesthetic is a very integral part of creative art. So aesthetic is one of the theoretical subject which students need to study and understand. Memory drawing, anatomy drawing, and methods and materials of sculpting. So there are various ways to create sculptures. So we also explore different material to create interesting sculptures in and of course, sculptural design is one of the modern term that we have included in our syllabus. It is not just a sculpture, a normal sculpture. We create sculpture using different material at different platforms and in surroundings. So it is important for a student to know more about sculptures. So, of course, sculpture students also need to learn digital arts. We teach them how to create a three-dimensional images using digital arts. So, friends, we will learn more in detail of these sculptures and paintings and opportunities of sculptures and paintings from the faculty who are expert in these areas. Now, I ask Professor Mahendra Poddar to highlight the career paths and opportunities that are available there in sculpture. Over to Mahendra.
Good morning. Avni, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yes, yes. Good morning to all. First of all, just I want to tell you the unique features as per our principal said, and we have some career path after sculpture. After degree or after master, you can work as an art teacher, professor, and lecturer in various universities and schools. You can work as a freelance artist in market. You can do commercial works. You can do your own stylized work for exhibition. Also, you can work with art galleries, museum, art restoration, and conservation of art. With this, you can curate some show. You can work as an art curator. There is animation, big industry we have. In animation industry, you can work with texturing artists, character artists, and there is one more opportunity, antique remolding you can do. In event management, you can work as set designer, exhibition designer, clay modeler, and you can work in market with, you can assist architect companies, construction companies, interior design for wall art, for relief art, to decorate building. Also, you can create your own company as an artifacts company, set designer. You can work with film industry also. Art direction, you can assist art direction. You can make sets for films. And there are many sectors in government. You have many opportunities to work with government, like museum, national galleries, and medical college. You have opportunities. So we have a lot of opportunities in after sculpture degree and master. Hand over to Avni, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Moving on to the next.
Yeah, thank you, Avni. We will once again go to the career paths for painting. As you know, the painting is expression, painting is emotion, painting is creating your visual expression on canvas. But it is not limited to canvas nowadays. You equally have opportunity to work on digital platform. So, and I have already explained you that we have one more technique called as printmaking. So through that printmaking, you can create wonders in visual field. And printmaking, a very unique feature that we are offering at UG level as well as PG level. So I would now would like to invite Professor Prasad to highlight more on printmaking. Over to Prasad.
Yes, sir. Hello. Hello. Good morning to all. As Principal Sir mentioned about printmaking, yes, it is an old process, but actually, I would say it's a unique as well. As a printmaker, as a printmaking studio, we have a fully equipped studio, which will provide student to each and every technical content. So printmaking is a artistic process based on principle of transferring image, like different surfaces. Here I would like to mention traditional printmaking technique which we offer to the student, like woodcut, etching, engraving, and lithography. So these days, particular these subjects, a number of possibilities to explore as a artist, like lot of galleries, lot of museums provide a nice workshop, nice residency throughout the year, not only India, I would like to mention in abroad as well. So yes, it is a nice and unique feature which we provide to student along with the regular subjects.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you very much for for mentioning all special feature of printmaking. Students, we have a very special subject. As I've already mentioned, that it is conservation and restoration of art forms. So now I would like to explain more about applied arts. So can you show me applied arts? Yes. So as you can see that applied art is a very professional course, and it is more of a visual communication. So applied arts, the major sector in applied art is advertising. And you know, advertising field is growing day by day, and it is a major contribution of advertising industry in the economy of country. Let me tell you the fact. Developing country like India is in third position after US and China in the business of advertising, with 4.506 billion US dollar. It is greatly supported by Indian economy. And second fact I would like to mention over here, that as stated in Economic Times, we require around 10,000 to 15,000 graphic designers per year. And graphic design is industry is growing very fast with the rate of 5% every year, and total and 188.32 billion Indian rupees. So it is, you can see how big the industry is, how big the challenges are there to the designer to see that country like India, which is developing country. So we require lots and lots of creative persons in this field. So why I'm calling this creative field? Because as you know, I have already explained that advertising is a creative field. In advertising, there are n number of different departments, and each department works in collaboration with each other, and they also work in a team. So these departments may be a creative department, and wherein the creative visualizers work, creative graphic designers work, creative illustrator, creative photographers, they produce their creativity through photograph, creative typographers and type designers, they have a immense role in visual communication, because without type, without text, it is not possible for us to create anything in a field of communication. So in advertising agencies, all these creative people, they work together, they sync their work in each other, and then a creative advertising is produced. So of course, other than advertising agencies, the brands are developed in by the creative minds. The brand are created by the brand strategies. The brands are created by the storytellers. So because for every brand, there has to have some story. So there are n number of examples, and we all are aware that the brands are there in our mind, and those are created with a proper strategies. So other than branding agencies and branding studios, these creative people, they have equal opportunities in IT industry to work as a UI designer, because user interface is something that they produce actual visual interface for a user, right? They create websites, they create web applications, they create various screens for interaction for the users. So the scope is tremendous. Other than that, you know that for every product, the packaging is important. For every product, the packaging is very, very important. So in packaging industry, these students, they have equal opportunities, because packaging without printing is not possible. So print and packaging, that works together. So printing and packaging together produce help to the brand to develop that particular brand. So these students, they have equal opportunity in printing industry, packaging industry, and publication industry. Publication industry is something that where you see the publications are happening, publications of book, publications of special edition magazines, publications on internet, publications on digital platforms. So these are the opportunities where these students can show their creative talent. And of course, there are n number of opportunities you can explore, because this entire world is full of creative talent. So I think I have covered most of the major career paths, career opportunities available for these fields like applied arts, fine arts, and sculptures. So I think other than this, if you have any question, so we will address these questions and we will try to resolve your queries. Avni?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. So we have a few questions that the students have raised. So coming to the first question, there's someone who would like to know about the admission and eligibility criteria for the entire process of applied arts and fine arts.
Yes, sure. So can you go to the last slide so that we can see the slide as well, and I can mention the admission procedure over there? Please go to the last slide.
Yes, sir.
Student, as I have mentioned that this is a very creative field and creativity is involved, and as well as the drawing is the backbone and very important factor over here. So you will be tested with your drawing skills, right? So drawing skill, to show your drawing skill is very important. Other than that, we have certain criteria with which you get admission in creative fields like this. I would like to mention over here, and I would like to ask Parag Shedke, who's our head of the Department of Applied Arts, and he will highlight the requirement and academic qualifications required for UG and PG both. So over to Parag.
So thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. Regarding the admission process for the MIT ADTU, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So regarding the admission process for UG, you need to pass your 10+2, that is 12th examination from any stream, that is art, commerce, and science. And then you can apply directly to the MIT University based on your portfolio and interview. We can give you the admission. There will be the merit list, and based on that merit list, we can shortlist some students, and based on that, you can take the admission. As well as there is another way to get admission, that is a government CET, that is MHAAC CET, which is not yet announced yet for this particular year, but through which also you can apply.
Yes, and for very specific to PG, we would take their entrance exam, which will be, of course, on pen and paper, and we will also review their portfolios, which is very important, because students from various fields they apply, but particularly for MFA post-graduation students, we prefer students who have their background from applied arts or fine arts or sculpture specifically, and opted with those subjects. So post-graduation is something extension of your knowledge, and knowledge in more of a research base through through handling various projects at post-graduation level. So it is desired to have a basic aptitude of understanding and handling of various projects of communication at their UG level. By looking at, by going through their portfolio and projects they have done in their undergraduate level, we will shortlist the candidates as per the merit list. So this is all about the admission process. And any other question?
Yes, sir. So there's another very important question that most of the students that go through is it very like how important is it to have technical knowledge and skill before we join fine arts or applied arts, before joining the college?
Yeah, very nice question. As I have already mentioned that yes, we are not expecting any kind of technical knowledge as such to get into UG level. But for PG level, of course, we expect that some kind of technical knowledge is must. But at UG level, they need to have a basic skills in terms of drawing. Otherwise, we are not expecting anything else. Technical, as in, yeah, we teach them the techniques of creating illustration, techniques of photography, techniques of understanding and creating types and typography later on. So we don't generally expect any kind of technical knowledge to the aspiring students, other than their basic skills in drawing.
So this question is addressed. This answer is addressed directly to Chavi. Chavi, you asked that will the session be recorded? So yes, the session has been played live on Facebook as of now, and once the session is over, you can always access this through Facebook. So it's going to be recorded and uploaded on Facebook. So you can definitely, watch all over again. So we have another very interesting, and to be honest, there's not much difference. One of those interesting questions. So how communication arts is different from applied arts?
Yeah, it is one and the same thing. As I have already mentioned in my definition of applied art is a application of art to communication, application of art into entertainment, and application of arts to decoration, right? So communication is a core factor over here. Now you will say that communication is it very specific to one media? No, communication is overall, wherein we use all different types of media, all different types of different means of communication, whether it is verbal communication or visual communication, or maybe communication through words. And overall, we are expecting students to communicate using their visual ability, creative ability. So communication is one and the same thing. And of course, yes, but if you want to be very specific to maybe animation, or very specific to be a cinematographer, or you want to be very specific as a photographer, yes. So we do training in all these courses, which is inseparable part of applied art. It is a part of applied art. So it is one and the same thing.
Correctly, sir. So applied arts or any of the fields that we have here is basically visual communication. And over the years, we teach students how to develop their visual vocabulary. So it is communicating visually to all of them.
Right.
Okay, we have another question that says, so what is the future in UI UX design, and how is the internship program? This is one of the students asked.
Yeah, this is really great question. And nowadays, everybody is aware of UI UX, and everybody is talking about UI UX. But here, I would like to mention one thing. Being a graphic design from a graphic design field, or being a visual communication field as applied arts, we generally deal in UI design. UI is user interface design. And as a matter of fact, you know that there is a tremendous demand in the market in a present situation. All IT industry and all companies, they hire visual designers. They call it as a visual designer who can work in visual industry as a visual interface designer. So yes, of course, we deal in visual interface designing. And to get more about visual interface, I would like to ask Chitra who's a faculty and having experience from industry for more than 8 years in the same field, visual UI and UX experience. So I would like to ask Chitra to highlight the facts about UI UX and the internship projects for that. Over to Chitra.
Yes, Chitra ma'am. Yes.
Yes, Chitra. Yes,
Yeah, first
sure.
of all, very
Please go ahead.
thank you to our principal sir and Avni ma'am for making me a part of this webinar. So if these days, this term of UI and UX is, very well known.
Perfect.
So whenever this term comes, digital platform, it may be about product company or service company. So when it comes about a digital interface, there is requirement of designer, that is a UI and UX designer. Why? Because UI and UX designer enhance the experience of the product. That is, the enhancing the business of that particular stakeholder. So if we look at where you have career opportunities in this field, so there are many good companies like IT sector, we can say, IBM, Infosys, Tata. So they have requirement of UI and UX designer also. So UI designer simply work for how your product will look good, okay? Maybe to make proper hierarchy of your visual content, to make it readable, to make it legible, okay? And UX designer will work the person who has the potential to, handle whole process to from start to end, what your user want, what your stakeholders needs, is it business purpose? So everything handled by your UX designer. So you have very good opportunities in the IT sector also. And finally, it's your, your work, your portfolio. So strong your portfolio, help you entering the field and look for employment. Thank you, sir. That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Chitra. It was nicely, elaborated on UI and UX. Of course, for any visual communication, it's a digital platform available to us. So using that digital platform for better communication is user interface. And of course, we have been experiencing the age of using these digital platforms or digital medias, using it maybe on the fingertip, maybe on over our laptops and all. So it is important for a visual designer to know basically how it works and how it interacts, because it is an interaction between a computer and a human being. So for a better interaction, it is important for a user to see that how easy it is to handle. So this is very important. So, and that is how the visual designer uses his visual ability and creative ability to create small icons, which are very important for easy communication, small buttons, which are very important for one to understand what is the functionality and usability of that particular button, and overall look and feel of the product as in over here we are talking about the screen, wherein you are actually using a website, or you are actually using some applications or on mobile screen, and what kind of experience you are getting while using that screen over your laptop or desktop, or over your mobiles, or over your iPads. So that is how they have to understand and create proper content, hierarchy of that content, selection of appropriate fonts, selection of appropriate colors, selection of appropriate visuals. That is very important. And basic of all these things is understanding and developing your visual ability, and that anyway we develop you to understand and use your aesthetic sense to create your visual expressions through digital media or any other platform. So let me tell you fact that for first 2 years, we develop your skill part. We introduce you various visual communication medias. We also nurture you with a proper experience and experimenting with the media, redesigning of the things, redesigning of advertising, redesigning of logos, redesigning of identity. And with that experience, you will definitely come across with your own ability to develop and create new things. That is how we are expecting our student, that they should come up with the original thing, original creative things. You're not supposed to copy anything from anywhere, because the world is a very small. If you Google, if you surf anything on internet, you will find n number of things. And if you copy something and upload it on internet, you will be definitely caught. So this is how very important is, you have to be original. Yes, Avni. Any other question?
I think that's a very valid point, that, in this age that, it's an ever evolving industry, and to be unique and creative is one of the most important things. There's another question regarding admission. What is the admission procedure for outside Maharashtra students, and how is the, the entrance exam going to be like?
Yes, students, it is made very easy and simple to even outside of Maharashtra students. We have the similar criteria for OMS candidates. You have to appear for entrance exam, but looking at the present situation, we are not conducting pen and paper examination this year, but we are conducting your interviews online, maybe on phone, maybe on online platforms like Zoom or Skype or any other platform. But we definitely require your portfolio for reviews, that we need to see your ability, what kind of visual ability you have, what kind of skills you have developed, and your drawing ability basically. So you need to send your portfolio on our phone numbers on WhatsApp, or you can send your portfolios for review of the faculty members. And once your portfolio is shortlisted, you will be called by our faculty member, and you will have to get ready for the interview online. That is the procedure we are following. And of course, if given chance to you people to appear for MHAAC CET, which will be conducted maybe probably in the month of June, it is not yet declared, but we are expecting that this examination will be conducted by Government of Maharashtra Special CET Cell. And if you appear for that particular cell, you are definitely eligible for getting admission direct to BFA Applied Arts or Fine Arts or Sculpture anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There is another question, which is around what are the co-curriculum activities that the institute is offering parallelly to the academics?
Yeah, right. It's very nice question. Now we are actually we have taken some points directly from industry, that industry are looking for candidates who have overall developed, who have all different virtues, right? They are not looking just the craftsman or just a bull worker. They want a skillful employers, and they see that their candidates are holistically developed. So at university level, our university management and university, they have taken a decision to introduce a very unique school, and the school is called as School of Holistic Development. So this school, in connection with all the schools, professional schools, they work for the overall development of students. So the students from creative fields, they are given a chance to explore more in technical fields. Students from field of technical background, they get chance to explore more of the creative fields. So we have a special school called as School of Holistic Development. So I would like to call Deepti to highlight the feature of holistic development and School of Holistic Development. So Avni, please
Yes,
connect
sir.
Deepti.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Very good morning to everyone. So basically, SHD, that is School of Holistic Development, takes care of physical, mental, and spiritual development of a child. In the first year, it is divided in two parts: physical development and communication skills. In physical development, we take yoga, sports, and activities. We even have sports complex and a big sports complex, sports ground. In the second year, as per the policy of university, students from creative field are given to opt subjects of technical fields, and technical field students are offered creative field subjects. As fine art is a creative field, here students are offered with subjects like marketing, personality development, spirituality, and seva components for NGOs. Options go on changing as per the requisition of the students every year. In the third year, we offer two foreign languages out of total six languages. Special coaching is given for the same. In the fourth year, we offer them entrepreneurship and corporate trading. In entrepreneurship, how to do business and how to develop entrepreneur abilities are being taught. In corporate training, they are given training about how to face interviews, group discussions, and all these things. So these are the some of the highlights what we take in SHD. Thank you so much. Over to Minister.
Yeah, thank you, Dipti. It was a nice information given by you. So, holistic development is very important for in a professional career, and of course, we are dealing with the professional in developing the professional career of students in the creative fields. So, and in most of the corporate companies, they demand that their employees should be trained with these abilities and qualities. So we are taking care of that thanks to our management, that they have taken this special efforts to train our professional aspiring students to get into profession with the holistic development. Yes, Avni.
Yes, sir. So there's another admission related query that says, what about those who have already, so interview is already taken, what the further procedure is going to be like?
Yes, of course, we are definitely following the procedure, and if they have been admitted or taken provisional admissions, yes, we are open to give the provisional admissions after the interview and portfolio review. So you can do the formalities of provisional admissions.
Thank you, sir. So, okay. So this is, regarding what their batchmates are going to be like. So what is the batch size for applied arts? The students are interested to know.
Yes, this is very interesting for the development of overall development of our students. Yes, as per the norms of UGC and AICTE, the batch is divided into 30, 30, 30. But we have total intake capacity of 90 students for applied arts, 30 students for fine arts, and 30 students for sculpture. So this is the overall batch size, but these students are treated common. I mean, they will be getting a common training in the first semester, and most of the subjects are common at first semester level, and later on they can select if they want. I mean, of course, they have already selected their specialization field: applied arts, fine arts, and sculpture. But if by chance, if they want to switch from one field to another field, they will be able to switch only after successful completion of the first semester.
Yes, sir. So students would like to know about the hostel facility that is available within campus and outside campus.
Yeah. Let me tell you the fact. Our university is spread all over. It is spread in 125 acres of land at Rajbagh, Loni, and the campus is well built and well spread all over, and we have a very nice infrastructure and building facilities and greenery all over, and we have separate hostels for students, girl students and boy students. In all, we have 6 to 7 hostels inside the campus, and we also have some hostels outside the campus. but hostels will be given to the students only on first come first basis.
Okay. So we have another question coming directly from Facebook. So students want to know, do we have any provision for scholarship, or what the scholarship system in the colleges? Can we apply?
Yeah, truly speaking, yes, we have certain scholarship, but it is only to students those who are economically in a weaker section. But the scholarship is given to the students only after the second semester, because first semester we don't offer any kind of scholarship, because we have to see the progress and overall consistency of that particular student. The scholarships are given only underprivileged, economically weaker background students.
So if a student has received a scholarship in the first year, will it continue over the next 3 years, or will it be restricted to the first year?
It depends on case to case, because we also need to see the overall progress of student, his or her score in previous semester, and overall conduct of the student. It depends on case to case.
Okay. So we have another question about the assessment, the kind of assessment that School of Fine Arts has. So what are the parameters for internal assessment?
Yes. Let me tell you that we are the unique feature. We have unique feature of internal and external assessment for applied arts and fine arts and sculpture as well. We have 75% internal assessment done for each and every course, and 25% assessment is done by the external jury members. A panel of jury will assist your work, overall work, in a presentation manner. You have to present your work in front of jury members. Jury members will ask you different questions based on your understanding, skills, and application. And based on that, you will be assessed. And same parameters are applied as far as the internal subjects, internal assessment is concerned. We will see your skills, your understanding of particular subject, and your application part as far as media and application part is concerned. So this is the ratio, 75 to 25. Yes, 75 internal, 25 external.
Correct, sir. So this is a very interesting question, and I think it's coming from one of the parents. So it says, is drawing necessary for this course? And will the students still be applicable if
Yeah, it's very nice question, because most of the students, this is often we have experienced, the students who are not good at their studies, they generally opt for drawing courses. But I would like to make a mention over here, students and parents, please don't feel so. If you're not good at studies, you have to definitely see that you should be, you have to put your efforts. You have to put your efforts to show your talent in drawing. So one thing is very clear, that drawing is a backbone, and it is very important and necessary as far as the applied art and fine art courses are concerned. But if somebody is not having a good skill in drawing, but having a very good creative talent, we will definitely see such type of creative talent, maybe in terms of creative writing, creative visualization, and creative photography. In that case, even if you are not good at drawing, we will see that how you will be given training, basic training in drawing, so that you will be developed, and it will your skills and visual creativity will be used properly in visual communication. Yes, we will help you to shape up.
Yes, and there's another question which generally revolves around the anxiety students have when they join School of Fine Arts, or they join a BFA course. Is that what can they do after Bachelor of Fine Arts? Is an MFA or a Master's necessary?
Frankly speaking, this BFA course that we have designed over here is a full-fledged professional course. You definitely need not to go for master's, but if you want to get into academics, master's is compulsory. If you want to get into government sector, to get a job at government sector, master's is compulsory. At various level, master's is a compulsory thing. That is why you can take a decision whether you want to continue in the field, you want to continue in the market, you want to continue in the industry, or you would like to get into academics or some fields wherein you get jobs at government sector. Because in most of the research institute of central government, they require at least master's degree with minimum 55% or a CGPA of 6.5 or more. So that is why master's is compulsory at certain level.
Yes, sir. So there's another question around the modern art scene in India, and how is it necessary for upcoming artists to show that traditional influences to gain recognition?
Yeah, as far as modern art is concerned, yes, it is again very freedom given to the artist to express his way of thinking, way of visual expression. So modern art as such, I would say, yes, it is free hand given to the artist to express his view on the canvas. So I think they have equal opportunities and future prospects in Indian culture, Indian society. But it is very important for a student to know, to understand, to learn from history, because history also teaches us why and how to handle different mediums, different style and different ways of expression. So it is not only modern art that you can create something. You need to learn the techniques and something from history. So that is what I would say. It is important.
Yes, sir. So now, sir, one of the most basics of questions, what is the basic difference between applied arts and fine arts? How do you differentiate?
Yeah, as in the beginning of my introductory lecture, I have already explained that applied art consists of visual communication. And then it also consists of entertainment that helps entertainment industry to grow and develop, and it is also used in decoration. Whereas fine art is pure expression and showing one's thought on canvas. It is a free mood given to the artist to express his views. And of course, fine artists also, they help to make revolutionary changes in the society with their expressions on canvas. So basic difference is that only. I think applied art is more applied for visual communication, and fine art is made free for your expressions on any other media, any media.
Yes, sir. So this is another question around painting as to what are the career opportunities, and how financially well can fine artists do in the future?
Well, I would say painting has lots of potential, because you will see that painters, they are earning in lakhs and crores, right? But only thing is this, they need a patience. Those who want to be in the career of pure painting, of course, painting can be applied in a commercial way, and you need to learn how that paintings will be the paintings are exhibited in a commercial way, and how to implement your painting ability in a commercial way, that one has to definitely learn. But frankly speaking, painting field has a tremendous potential to get settled in the professional life, and you can earn a lot. You can earn your fame, name, and money as well in this field. You can do lots of exhibitions. From the exhibition, the art lovers and art collectors, they buy your paintings. Most of the artists, they keep regular contact with architect and builders. So architect and builders, even hotels, they buy their paintings, right, on regular basis. And there are collectors who keep great paintings in their collection, and at various ways they sell it again back to the society and the appreciator. So I think you have a tremendous scope, and in our presentation we have already explained what are different ways wherein you can develop your painting into professional ways. You can work in film industry, you can work in studios, you can work in animation industry to be a background artist, like wherein the backgrounds are very important as far as the animation design is concerned. The character design is also very important as far as the animation is concerned. So you can become a character designer or background artist in animation industry.
Yes, sir. So there's another question around the admission and the fee structure at MIT School of Fine Arts.
Yeah, for fee structure and admission, I would, this for applied arts, we have around 1,25,700 rupees as fee. For painting, we have around 60,000. Yeah.
700.
60,700 rupees as a fee for painting and sculpture both.
Yes.
So for more detail, you can definitely contact on our website and get all details about the fee structure and all. Yes. What was the second question, Avni?
So that
for
is
admission process. Hello, Avni.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
For admission process, students can go to the MIT ADT University website. They can apply over there online, right? And the college institute will contact you soon. Based on that, you have to prepare your portfolio. Then once again, university will tell you that on which day we are going to conduct your interview. Meanwhile, you have to send your portfolio to the university. So university will go through your portfolio and university will schedule your interview. So based on that portfolio and interview, we will publish the merit list of the students. And based on that, once again, university will contact you that whether you are shortlisted or no. So right now, we are giving you as a provisional admission for the students, those who are interested. One question I saw there that whether the provisional admission is going to be treated as a confirmed admission. So the admission, if you want to make a confirm admission over here, so choice is up to you.
See, right now we are providing, we are keeping this admission on provisional basis because the result of boards are not yet declared. So as soon as the results are declared, this admission, and if you are eligible as per the criteria of university, if you found yourself eligible, then only your admission will be made confirmed. Till then, we will give you only provisional admission because the results are not yet declared.
Yes, sir. So there's another question about the specialized. Do you offer any specialization subject like the other colleges do? And is it possible to switch, suppose, if I want to further?
Yes, this is very nice question. And I would like to make a mention over here that we are offering a basket of subjects wherein students have liberty to select their own subject of interest and treat that subject as a special subject, specialization subject. And of course, we will ask them to treat their subject as per the project given to them, like a major project or minor project. They can opt more than 2 subjects as their subject of specialization. But if you think that at one level you have opted for one subject as a subject of your specialization and subject of your interest, at another level, I mean, next semester, if you think that you should switch and handle some other subject, it is completely up to you that you can switch that subject and opt some other subject as a subject of your specialization. I would mention over here that we have certain subject called as subject of specialization, and we treat those subjects in a basket of subjects offered to the students at 3rd year level. And the subjects are illustration, typography, then UI, then photography. These are the major areas wherein students can opt these subjects as subject of their specialization. But of course, they can switch that subject anytime. Right, that will help them for a longer term, because sometimes if they get chance to get into some universities wherein such subjects of specializations are not there. In that case, they will be in trouble, like how to go ahead with a subject of specialization for their masters. So that is why we have kept this flexibility. And of course, industry don't require one person who is specialized in one area. Industry sees that a person who is all around and have ability to handle any kind of challenges, right, during their projects and during their work given to them. So the student, the person who is good at illustration need also to have good knowledge about photography. He also need to be very confident to handle the typographic assignments and typographic projects, and also need to have very good skills, right, at the same time to handle projects for UI as well. So that is why we have taken care of overall development and grooming of students' professional career as far as these subjects are concerned.
Yes, sir. Continuing to that, there's another question that says, does MIT provide industry interaction for students?
Yes, we do. Say, as we are in the 4th year of our growth, so we have established our contact with many industries like IT industries like advertising agencies, design studios, and many more companies who have their their projects related to advertisement, related to applied arts, so as well as painting and sculpture. So we have established these contacts, and we always calling these people to interact with the students at various levels, maybe direct interaction with the students over the seminar, over the workshop, and we also asking, we also inviting these persons from industry to evaluate students' work at their final jury. So that is how we have developed industry contact with the industry and persons. So of course, at the time of internship, students may contact these industries and then get a short-term industry project maybe for 2 months after their 4th semester and after their 6th semester. We have particularly made arrangement of internship projects after the semester. So that way we have developed contacts with the industry and to do more interactive sessions with industry people.
Yes, sir. I think this is the last question of the day. We've answered most of the questions that the students have been asking us. So there's there's a question that, do you have a module-based learning education for BFA Applied Arts, or is it a semester-wise, tri-semester pattern that we follow? This is the question.
It is very nice question, because few universities, they have yearly pattern. Few universities, they also have tri-semester, but we have as per our university's guideline, and we follow a semester pattern, and after every semester we conduct we conduct the final jury, final examination, evaluation, and of course, as I have already mentioned, that we follow the internal evaluation and external evaluation. Internal consistent assessment is done, continuous assessment is done during the semester, and final assessment is done at the end of the semester, and we follow semester pattern. And in between 2 semester, there will be a specific break so that students can get more exposure to their various fields, and various field visits are organized by the faculty members. I would like to mention over here one more feature that we are offering over here is we have a very special feature called as interdisciplinary studies. So we take first years, second year students to see and get actual exposure with the different art forms, right? And we let these students to get to the studios, to get to the artist, right? And study these art forms directly by visiting their studios and their workshops. So students get to know more about the art. So we intentionally kept this course for first year and second year because it is at developing stage. They are at developing stage. So they adopt, they learn, they ask many more questions to the artist and then learn the traditional Indian art forms from from the variety of their work. And we organize such visit at various places throughout the country so that students will get a clear understanding and good exposure to these kind of Indian traditional art. Of course, we as a visual designer have a great responsibility on our shoulder to understand, to develop, and to contribute to our Indian culture as far as the art and sculpture and fine art is concerned. So let us not forget our roots. Let us not forget that India has a great visual culture, great visual talent, great, talent, right? So we introduce this type of talent to our students. So this is how we have designed a program called as interdisciplinary studies. Yes, Avni. Anything else other than this?
Yes, so we've answered all the questions that the students have, and I would like to extend the vote of thanks now, because this has indeed been a very interactive and very wonderful, insightful session. It's a pleasure and a privilege and a great joy for me to extend this vote of thanks to all the patrons at MIT ATT University, for being such great visionaries and trying to reshape education in these trying times. I would also like to thank all the speakers, especially Professor Dr. Mayan Dobre and all my fellow colleagues, today for sharing their wisdom and knowledge with us. And nonetheless, I would also like to acknowledge and extend a very hearty thanks to all the resource people, the technical support people, the supporting people in the background for the smooth delivery of this entire session. Considering that, this is our first time that we're actually doing something like this, it has been very easy because of them. To end this on a very nice note, see, we all are facing a challenge, and this is addressed directly to the students who would want to, take admission over here. And that the fact that all of you guys are here today displays that, you and I, both of us know that creativity is both good for us, and that our creative endeavors and our visual expression is what makes us all happy. So, because at the end of the day, we all have the power to, paint away our blues. So, doesn't matter what these times are, creativity and art is what is very close to us. So please take care and stay safe out there. And Milind sir?
Yes, I would like to thank to my management. I would like to thank all my faculty members, Honorable Executive President and Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad sir, Honorable Executive Director, Jyoti madam, and all my faculty colleagues supporting me on this session, and all students and participants for this wonderful session. Thank you very much.